Hi there, this is Teri from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this lovely card. I've used the Beauty Abounds stamp set and coordinating dies and some of the Share What You Love specialty paper. And when you open the card, butterflies pop up. The pop-up is achieved by creating a simple paper mechanism, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So let's get started. Your base card will be in Tranquil Tide, and then you'll need several mats of paper from the Share What You Love specialty paper pack. Now 2 of these should be the same design and they will go inside the card. And then for the front of the card you need a basic black layer and then another design from the paper pack. You will also need a small scrap piece of paper of the first design for your paper mechanism. It doesn't matter how wide this is, but it does need to be 3.5 inches long or 8.9 centimeters. In addition, you will need some black, some white and some more Tranquil Tide card for die cutting. Now the panels on the front and the inside of the card will be the same size and they're going to be die cut using the rectangular stitched dies. Now you want the 3rd largest die for the Tranquil Tide mats and the 4th largest for the white mats. You will also need a 1/4 sheet of black cardstock and a 1/4 sheet of Tranquil Tide cardstock, and these are to cut your large butterflies from. Now the black has been backed using our multi-purpose adhesive sheets. Now the large butterflies come from the Coordinating Butterfly Beauty Thinlits dies, and you've got 2 layers of these. The top layer will be cut from the black cardstock with the glue sheet on the back, and then the Tranquil Tide will have the bottom layer. I'm also going to cut the little butterflies from the same sheets, and these are also from the Butterfly Beauty Thinlits die set. And again, these will layer on top of each other. This is the Beauty Abounds stamp set, and I'm using the Hello sentiment and also this lovely floral flourish. I'm stamping the sentiment using rich raspberry ink onto a scrap of Whisper White. And then I'm going to cut this out using one of the stitched labels framelit dies, the little circle. The scallop circle that goes underneath it, I'm punching this out using the 1 1/8 scallop circle punch. I can then layer the sentiment onto the scallop circle and also layer the small butterflies together. You just peel off the backing from the multi-purpose adhesive sheet on the black layer and then stick it to the Tranquil Tide layer. The large butterflies can then be layered in the same way. Just carefully peel the backing off from the multi-purpose adhesive sheet on the back of the black layer and then layer it onto the Tranquil Tide. You want to start with the large centre butterfly and align that first, then the 2 top butterflies and finally the bottom ones. The pop-up consists of just the top 3 butterflies, So you want to use your scissors and cut the bottom two away. To create the center panel for the inside of the card, you just need to layer the die cut white panel onto the tranquil tide one and then add your butterflies. To save time in this video, I've already created the stamped panel that needs to go on the front of the card. Now this was stamped in Memento Tuxedo black ink and coloured using the Stamping Blends markers. The colours I used are Shaded Spruce, Rich Raspberry, Petal Pink, Dark Mango Melody, and the light balmy blue to go around the completed image. And after finishing the colouring, I ran it through the Big Shot with the subtle embossing folder. I'd actually forgotten to do this on my original card, but I love the effect that you get using this folder. This panel can then be layered onto the Tranquil Tide die cut panel. Before adding the mechanism, you need to add the Designer Series paper mats to the inside of the card. I'm now going to score the mechanism, and I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches and 3 inches. In metric, that's 1.3 centimetres, 3.8, 5.1 and then 7.6 centimetres. I'm then going to use my guillotine to cut 2 1/4 inch strips or 1.3 centimetres. On my original card, I only used 1 strip for the mechanism, and I wasn't that happy with the result because when it's created, you can see the back side of the paper, which is obviously a different pattern to the original. So this time I'm going to try 2 strips, and I'm going to glue them back to back so that when the mechanism is created, only the design that I want to show will show. Once the glue is dry, then fold on all the score lines. You can then add glue to one of the end sections and position the other one on top, and this forms your mechanism. So it should be rectangular. Before you fix the mechanism in place, you want to position your butterflies. Just place them where you want them to be. Make sure that there's nothing overhanging the outside of the card. And then you want to position your mechanism right up against the score line between the 2 panels. Add glue to the bottom of it and then set it in position. You want to leave this to dry for as long as possible. It needs to be completely dry really before you carry on. Mine wasn't, and I had trouble with it it kept popping up, so I had to keep gluing it back down. Once the base is dry, you can sort of squidge it back so it lies flat, and then you can add your butterflies to it. Now I just added some glue to that front section of the mechanism and then laid my butterfly on top of it. So it's just the bottom of that wing that it's going to be attached. This is enough to hold it in place. And again, you want to wait for this to dry before continuing. I didn't wait nearly long enough, which is why I think I had problems with it later on. Anyway, once it's dry, you can squidge it forward and add glue to that back section. So make sure it's not on the top section. The longer back section needs the glue. And then you can close your card and give it a good press down to set it in place. Then again, once everything is completely dry, you can test your mechanism and make sure it works cleanly. I'm now going to add the smaller of the two butterflies that I cut off the main panel earlier to the top. And I'm just gluing this flat to the card. And then I can add the centre panel to the other half. For the front of the card, I can add my designer series paper to the black mat and then position this onto the front of the card base. And then I can add my centre panel. I've gone ahead and added dimensionals to the butterfly's wings, and this is the larger of the two butterflies that we cut off earlier, and I've doubled up on the dimensionals. I'm then using my tweezers to help me push the wings back, and I'm going to add wet glue to the body. I always position my butterflies in this way. It gives a lovely dimension to them because you've got the body flat on the card, but then you've got the raised wings. And then I'll go ahead and add my sentiment. Again, I've already added the dimensionals to the back. I decided to finish off the butterflies by using pearls. Now, unfortunately, you can't get hold of these strips of pearls anymore. Our new format ones come individually, so you would have to add them separately to your butterflies. I'm still using up my old stock. And here is my card complete. I love that you don't really notice the mechanism now. It's quite well hidden. It feels a little bulkier than my original card, but not by much. And then my original card again. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.